Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think she's amazing.
Yee.
Oh, this is no way. Oh, got them all.
Just when you think you're too tall for them to kick you in the face.
Oh.
What?
Yeesh.
What?
Oh, this is great. We finally found someone that I would take I would pick in a fight against Canty. Any of these cats.
That looks like the video game from Street Fighter.
It's the kind of thing you want to like take Taekwondo every weekend and like not tell anyone, and you do it
And
for
then
years
just
and years
show
and
up.
years,
Just show
and then
up.
someone messes with you, and then you're like,
You're like, hold a board for me right quick.
They know something that you don't know. Chill out. Relax.
What up, C?
That was entertaining. That was entertaining. I didn't really have a good line. No, we got a lot of executives watching the show today.
So
Just pulled it on back.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
Leave
All
it
right.
in the chamber.
Good day
Yeah,
to not get fired.
very
I like
impressive.
No, laid off, man. They can't fire me.
Okay, good day.
Okay.
Good day to not get sent home.
Yeah,
Let me put it like that.
Let them know.
Carried away.
All right, back to last night's game between the Browns and the Eagles. Carson Wentz did not play. Nick Foles did play, sort of. It was not the Nick Foles we came to know and love in last year's Super Bowl. This Nick Foles turned the ball over 3 times in the first half, sacked 3 times, stripped for a fumble, down for a safety. It was reported last night that Pederson was disappointed in Foles' performance. He claims he was disappointed in the entire offense, not just Foles specifically. Here is Nick Foles after the game.
I know that this game's a process and that I've played this game my whole life, and I haven't always played great games. There's times where these are the toughest ones where you just have to keep battling. It really shows you what you're made of deep inside. And I was going to keep firing it no matter what. I mean, I didn't want to throw any more picks, but I was going to throw another one. I was going to keep firing the ball. You can't play with fear. I didn't play as clean as I wanted to, but I know that knowing me, knowing this team, that we're going to learn from and move forward. There's a lot of great stuff to learn from this game. It's an emotional game. It's not fun playing the way I did. It really hurt us tonight, but I know that I can improve and I will improve.
All right, Chris, you believe what he's saying there. He did want to go out, and he had all great intentions to go out and be that guy. He admitted that he struggled a little bit. How big of a deal is it that he did struggle?
Well, I don't think it's a big deal from the standpoint of that particular game because the offense didn't play well. And Doug Pederson is right to have a beef with that group. There's 6 possessions in the first half. You had a turnover on downs. You had a safety, a sack fumble, interception, Matt Jones fumble, then an interception to end the half. So, I mean, that's your 6 possessions with your first team group. And I think the offense struggled by and large because of the offensive line. Those guys got whipped up front by the Cleveland Browns defensive front. Myles Garrett, he must be a fan of the show, CC, because he showed up yesterday after Nick challenged him, and he had those 2 sacks, and of course he was the guy that came up on that fumble, on the safety.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, the Cleveland Browns, I didn't think they were far off from a defensive standpoint, and I think they went out there and they proved that last night. But if you're that Philadelphia Eagles offense, you wanted to have a little bit better performance because you want to have that confidence rolling into week 1, knowing that Nick Foles is most likely going to be your quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what the offense is going to look like in week number 1 when they played Atlanta Falcons on that Thursday night to open up the 99th season in the NFL, because the last couple weeks against New England and then against the Browns offensively, they didn't look well. Doug Pederson has reason to be disappointed not only with Nick Foles but the rest of that offense. You make a critical point as far as that offensive line. When Doug Pederson calls certain plays, he's dependent on certain things. And last night when they were backed up to the goal line, the reason why he calls that pass protection is because he believes in a veteran quarterback. They ran a play action where he is going to turn his back to the line of scrimmage, put the ball into the running back, and they are expecting him to have the appropriate footwork that he would be able to spin around and find the guy down the field because that's the best protection. Well, what does Nick Foles do? He trips over his own self. They get a sack and a safety. So Doug Pederson, he couldn't have been pleased about that because a lot of fans would be like, why'd you throw the ball there? The reason why he throws the ball is because he has a backup veteran quarterback who he can depend on. On this interception, they have one high safety. They're in cover 1. Nick Foles can't step into his throw because the center gets blasted into his lap. So not only the quarterback gives the safety of indicator over to his left to throw the interception. So Doug Pederson, he has ample in the film study. They'll be able to go back and realize this is not championship caliber football. So I can understand why Doug would be upset after last night's performance.
The safety, it's interesting because you're saying fans would be like, why'd you throw the ball? Even though he got safetied, he in real time got up and completed the pass.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't, if he doesn't fall, if he could complete the pass after falling, taking the time, fall down, get up, it was going to be there. He just tripped himself. Every one of those other plays we just showed, which were the 2 interceptions and the fumble, it is obvious on the fumble, but even the interceptions, I mean, he is running for his life, or he is about to be running for his life. One, you said the center got pushed into him. Another one looked very similar.
He got flushed out of pocket to his left.
Right, and that looked very similar to a rookie quarterback we just saw on 4th down in an earlier preseason game, trying to make a play on 4th down when he got flushed out to his left. Like where you're trying to make a play and it doesn't work out. Josh Allen, exactly right. Thank you. Yeah. And so it was, they were all under duress plays. And see, why, other than home field advantage, why did you have so much more faith in the Eagles even after Wentz than I did?
Their depth on the offensive line.
You kept saying they're big people.
Man,
they got better big people than you got big people. They got offensive and defensive line. You just kept talking about their big people. And the defensive line, I mean, did its job. We're talking about the Browns defense because they held Philly to 0 points, or Eagles to 0 points. How about the Browns? Not Philly or the Eagles, pardon me. But the idea that Cleveland only scored 3 themselves. The defensive line did its job. The offensive line for both teams struggled mightily. That's a worry I have for Cleveland as well. The reason I'm not as worried about Philly is not just because Jason Peters wasn't there, but I think Myles Garrett's going to be a problem for everybody.
Don't overreact to this. He's going to beat up on a lot of people.
Don't overreact to the Eagles' problem of it. Maybe totally overreact to Myles Garrett. I don't even know if it is overreacting. Like you said, he could win Defensive Player of the Year one year. He could win the sack title this year. Like, I really think he is poised to have that type of year. We saw Bosa in year 2 not win the sack title, but almost win Defensive Player of the Year.
And just like that, he missed a great part of that first month of the season like Myles did. So that's part of the baked-in Cleveland will win between 6 and 8 games is that #1 pick, not from 2018, but from 17.
Exactly. And to go along with what you guys are saying about Myles Garrett, the reason why I feel like his production from a sack standpoint is going to improve is just because there are going to be other complementary rushers opposite of him. So you're going to have guys like Gerard Avery, the young guy that Greg Williams loves, step up. He bull rushed Lane Johnson for a sack fumble last night. Those types of players, Larry Ogunjobi, another guy, defensive tackle, those guys are going to have to step up and be able to produce in one-on-one situations. But going back to Nick Foles' performance last night, the one thing I will say that I'm a little bit bothered with for a veteran quarterback is being able to have ball security, especially in the pocket. You got to protect against being able to get the ball strip sack. This is the second week in a row. Remember it happened against the New England Patriots. It was a sack fumble, return to the house for a touchdown. You can't have that happen. You can't have those types of swings. So better ball security, especially in the pocket. Even when things break down, the offensive line doesn't do their job, you can still hold on to the football and punt it away.
But last night, if nothing else, showed how much this team needs Carson Wentz.